Hi, Leo. Sorry I'm late with your reading, but we're here now. I kind of wanted to touch briefly on the fact that the North Node has moved out of your sign and is now in Cancer. And if you don't know a lot about what the North Node represents, so when the North Node was in the sign of Virgo about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, what happens is there's kind of like cosmic law and order. So if you're not really on your right path and what you're supposed to be doing in life, the universe will conspire to right it. It's kind of like tower moments, because the tower moment is getting you back on your destined path. So you can get on the chariot, right? And get going, which is kind of ironic because now that the North Node is in Cancer and the chariot represents Cancer. And the chariot is all about being on your destined path and going that direction. So, excuse me. The last 1.5 years has been all about you having to take a really good look, especially Leo risings, having to take a really good look at where you are and what you're supposed to be doing with your life and where your destiny is going to lead you and how that's going to look. And so now that it's in Cancer, which is actually your 12th house, you can look into a more spiritual aspect of who you are and focus on grounding and centering yourself within what you have discovered about who you truly are. And that is really, so imagine having the spotlight on you and people thinking that they know where you're supposed to go in life and what you're supposed to be doing in life. So that's kind of what happened with you in the last 1.5 years. Other people sort of interjected and they were like, no, I think that you're supposed to go this way. No, I think you're supposed to go this way. And you probably had the pull of determination to look at people and say, no, I am learning my path and I'm doing it the way that I need to do it. If you didn't have that determination, the North Node now being in your 12th house is going to help you be pushed along in that way to get there. But it's kind of like a breath of fresh air now that the spotlight's not really on you. And like being in the public eye, I have the spotlight on me all the time. And people are always interjecting and emailing me and letting me know certain things or writing comments on videos like, I don't know what I'm talking about, or they know better than I do, or something like that. Even if people don't know you 100%, they're trying to tell you how to live your life. And instead of you really focusing on what other people want for you, now is the time to focus on what is keeping you grounded, what is keeping you centered in your heart space, and allowing yourself to live your very best life without the interjections of other people. Because the spotlight's not on you anymore. Now you can go inward, and now Cancer has to deal with the spotlight being on them. And how are they living their best life and how are things, and so let's see what's going on. Happy December. Happy holidays to everybody. I'm really happy that this first card popped out for you guys because I think that you feel this shift of what's happening. And, we are in a very fire sign season. Mercury's going to go direct on the 7th of December. Which is not that far away. So the first card we have out is the Wheel of Fortune. Yay! Energy shift. Karmic retribution, right? And then we have the 8 of Wands. And we have the Empress. So quickly moving into yourself and owning it. And being able to be creative and heart-centered and genuine and allowing yourself to not get caught up in the day-to-day yuck of life. Being able to kind of like move forward with all of your plans without the heavy baggage of holding on to all of the heavy baggage that was weighing you down for so long. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to be? You know, what is my life purpose? How is that going to look? And I want you to allow yourself to get settled into this energy, because the North Node being in your 12th house is, for the next year and a half, is going to bring up a lot of, what do I really believe in? Now that I know where I am and what my life purpose is, what do I truly believe in versus what other people were wanting me to believe in, right? So we have the Knight of Swords, and this is kind of that interjection of other people. Still a little bit lingering, and it can get really confusing with the Seven of Cups. Now, Mars is in Pisces, but not for long. It'll be moving out of Pisces and into Aquarius, which is just opposite of you being in your relationship sector. And then we have the Four of Wands. So Mars going into your relationship sector. Also, it's fair to say that having the North Node in your 7th house, having the South Node in your 7th house of Aquarius, for a year and a half, brought up a lot of karma when it came to relationships. Like, probably brought up a lot of childhood wounds, or like, how am I relating to other people? How did other people relate to me? How is my childhood affecting who I truly am? Having the North Node in your sign and the South Node in your 7th house is not an easy position to be in. And you were there for a year and a half. Trust me, I had to deal with it right before it moved into your sign. Because the North Node goes backwards, which is all about karma and dharma. I had somebody try to correct me on that on a video recently where like I didn't know what it was. And that's what I mean, like being in the spotlight and people interjecting on your behalf. What does this truly mean? So let's see. And the Four of Wands is like that stable life that you want to have, that marriage, that happiness, that family. And I really want to say, with the Seven of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune coming out, you've fought the good fight. You don't have to block the good fortune coming in anymore. If you feel like there has been an energetic shift and things are going to start moving forward pretty rapidly for you, or you feel this abundance kind of coming to you, don't sabotage yourself by getting into an attitude of, am I ready for it? Or being afraid of what it might be. Because even if it doesn't look exactly the way that you thought it was going to look, right? Seven of Cups, even if it kind of feels like an illusion right now, or maybe you're recognizing what it was that you wanted previously in your life was that illusion. Wasn't as stable as you thought it was. So now we're quickly moving forward into the future, and Leo's kind of like, I have all these plans and everything that I want to do, but does it really make sense with where you're headed? Or are you still a little bit confused? Yeah, the Moon on the Eight of Wands. And the confusion of where you're headed and the plans that you want to make, I think that's going to become a little bit more clear towards the end of December when we have the Cancer full moon. Now we have the new moon in Sagittarius on the 7th of December as well, as Mercury going direct in Scorpio. And we also have Jupiter and the Sun in Sagittarius on December 7th. It's going to be a very, very fast moving time. But I feel like things will become much more clear to you after the new moon, headed towards the full moon, towards the end of, towards the end of December. On December 22nd is the full moon in Cancer. Because yes, things are moving really quickly right now. It's almost like the days, like you can't stop time and you really want to, or you need more time during the day to finish the things that you want to get done. You're being pushed in a direction and you're like, I don't even know where I'm going, but I'm going to do it, whether I know where I'm going or not. This is all in order to level yourself up. So don't get stuck in the unknown. Trust the unknown. Trust that even though you may have days where it seems a little bit more confusing than other days right now or through December, you're headed in a way where you're kind of rebuilding. You're rebuilding things from the ground up. 3 of Pentacles on the Empress. Now, if you have people in your life, sorry, Mercury retrograde makes me talk a little bit slower, so because I'll trip up on my words a lot if I don't talk slower during Mercury retrograde. If you have friends in your life that you want to collaborate with, that you want to get together, that you have plans, that you really, really have a sense of camaraderie with, I want you to focus on that moving forward, because I think that during this kind of confusing time of not really knowing what direction you're going in, you just know that you're going in a direction, but you're not entirely sure which direction that is. I think friends could probably help, and not the ones that think they know best, right? Knight of Swords, there could be an air sign in your life that thinks that they know better than you, but more than anything, stay away from the ones that are trying to tell you what to do, because, yeah, rise above that. 6 of Wands on the Knight of Swords. Rise above other people telling you what they think that you need to hear, and allow yourself to listen to your own intuition, because you have leveled up and you do know what direction you want to go in. It's the confusion of other people that can often keep you stuck, often keep you in a space of chaos and unknown and not understanding what direction you're going in. So let's see what the 7 of Cups is. Yeah. And I think your cure for this, because we have the 5 of Cups on the 7 of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles on the 7 of Cups, I think the cure for the disappointment that you have, that you know that you're going to have to like let go of some people in your life, or things haven't worked out the way that you wanted to. The disappointment of the confusion, I feel like you're kind of masking that with just keeping yourself busy, with either working really hard or like trying to, it's like you're trying to pile so many things on in one day because you don't feel like you have time to get through it all. So you're just piling it on and piling it on and piling it on. And almost maybe even ignoring the fact, you're like ignoring all the other 7 cups, right? You're ignoring all of the cups at once. You're like, I don't even know anymore. Don't even know anymore. The only thing that I want to say about that is it's still going to be there when you're done working. It's still going to be there. The confusion is still going to be there. And I think part of the confusion here is that family life and that situation that you want more than anything, but you don't. It's like you don't have it. You don't know where to get it. You don't have it yet. You don't even have a real vision of it yet. And even if you do have a vision, you're like, I don't know how to get there. Putting yourself in that position of not having other people, sorry, it's really heavy energy, so I keep sighing. I know I keep saying sorry too. Having other people try and tell you what your vision is not the way to go. Burying yourself in work or busy work or whatever is not the way to go. The only way for you to get unconfused about how you're feeling right now is truly to make a choice. for yourself. And how do you make a choice? You get quiet and you sit in meditation. Because I don't even think, again, yeah, Sagittarius season isn't going to be very clear for anyone. It just isn't. I mean, and nothing against Sagittarians, because I love Sagittarians. I'm actually surrounded by them. And I'm a Sagittarius moon, so it's kind of hard to not like Sagittarius, because my moon makes me extremely optimistic, which a lot of people really, really cannot stand about me. Just like have this perpetual optimism about life because of my moon sign. But we have the Knight of Wands on the Four of Wands. And this Sagittarius season is going to make you question what truly makes me happy. What truly is my ideal family? What truly is the direction I want to go in, and where am I headed, and how do I want to get to my Four of Wands? Four of Wands is marriage and family and stability and celebration. And if you're already married and you're going back and forth and questioning that right now, Sagittarius season is not the time to make those final decisions. You can plan, but I think that you're so confused with, and even though it's a fire season and you're a fire sign, there's still so much confusion going on that I think if you sit in this Five of Cups state, you will block the good fortune that is headed to you. And Jupiter being in your 5th house for the next year and a half, which is Sagittarius. It's all about passion and ideas and coming together. And I mean, it could be about passionate relationships and all of the really, really big things that drive us forward in what we want to do in life. And the fact that the North Node has moved out of your sign, and the fact that that Jupiter is now in your 5th house of passion, it was almost like your brain kind of imploded. So don't use your brain. Don't use your brain to try to figure all of this out, because I think it'll only confuse you more. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. Yes, like I said. So there is an air sign around, and probably an earth sign. So we have a Queen of Swords and a King of Pentacles and the Fool and the Four of Wands. I feel like this air sign is actually you taking on the qualities of an air sign, being very, very discerning. I feel like you're being discerning about an earth sign in your life. But because you're so confused about what this earth sign actually means to you, starting over again and starting fresh and feeling that fresh energy where you can push forward takes a lot of quiet time to figure out exactly. Because if you don't rest right now, Four of Swords resting and meditation and healing and taking the opportunity that during this really confusing time, instead of trying to pile a whole bunch of things on at once, because if you were the Fool card while you're confused, you're just going to jump right off that cliff into water, and you won't have the faith behind it to know that you're going to be okay. Instead, when you're ready to take that risk and go forward, you want to be at peace with it. And the Four of Swords can bring you that peace. So, and it'll bring you your own strength. There you are, showing up. Oh, doubly showing up. Strength card and the King of Wands. And getting the rest to take the risk, or to think about what risk you want to take, because you can take calculated risks too. Coming from a Virgo, I always find that much easier to handle, taking a calculated risk, knowing what I'm getting into before I get into it. Still might be a risk, but at least you looked into it first. And you don't have to do it for very long. You don't have to rest for very long. But I think the confusion of this earth sign in your life has kept you from taking risks, because you want to allow yourself stability. Like you're trying to stay in Leo, being a fixed sign. Yes, you're fire, but you're a fixed sign. And it's very hard to keep fire still sometimes. but you still have that innate, you know, it's like containing fire in a fireplace. That would be fixed fire to me, because it's still moving around, but it's not leaving. It's like containing fire in a grill, right? You have a big aluminum or metal grill. It's still moving around inside that grill, but it's fixed. It's staying right there. And sometimes you can feel very caged in when it's like that, because you want to get going and get moving and you know, spark other things going on in your life, but you're kind of stuck within that grill, or you're stuck within that fireplace. So in order for you to gain the strength to move past a very confusing situation, and maybe not even move past it, but mold it to work in the way that's going to work with your fire, you get quiet. You take calculated risks during this time. Because Sagittarius is mutable fire, and you don't know what, I mean, you want to know what that means because that fire element is still there. But being mutable kind of is a little bit scary. Changing things like that is, it's like being Virgo is mutable earth. Do you know what happens when earth moves? It shakes. Like I just shook the table. It's an earthquake. That's mutable earth. Yeah. So imagine mutable fire. You guys are fixed fire. You guys can be comfortable within your own setting and bounce around like a pinball in your own setting. But when you're asked to go outside of your comfort zone, you're like, but that's outside the grill. How do I do that? Because then you know you're going to spread a wildfire, mutable fire, right? So during this mutable season, this very, very mutable season, get quiet. Calculate your risks. Because there will be Six of Cups past things that pop up that you're going to have to make decisions on. Two of Pentacles. And you want to be in this strength. And I think that you getting quiet and calculating the risks that you want to take, it's going to give you the strength to make these decisions from your past. Doesn't mean it's going to be without anxiety. I also think that this earth sign is feeling a bit diminished now with the Page of Pentacles. I also feel like this earth sign is in a lot of anxiety at the moment. And even if you're not speaking to them or dealing directly with them, you don't have time. Your spirituality is coming up into question, and you are moving quickly forward into your fire. And clarity. So we have the Hierophant. The earth sign could be a Taurus, Six of Swords, and the Sun. You're coming up really, really well in your reading. It's your surroundings that are confusing you, and it's because everybody is moving so fast, or everybody is really focusing on what their goals are and what they need to do in their life, that you're not even really sure what's happening around you. So I don't want you to focus on what's happening around you. I want you to focus on your heart center. I want you to focus on the direction that you want to go. And if past things start to pop up again, you're going to have the strength to be able to deal with it. If this is a Taurus, I actually feel like this is a person who is having a lot of trouble in their life, and they may need your help in some way. Because I don't even think that they see the sun. I feel like you might even be traveling to this Taurus, or this Taurus will be traveling to you. So we have Temperance, and the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. Okay. So the burden, you've been very, very patient, even during the time of possible deception and having to be patient, but not really knowing what you're being patient for. You've been very patient anyways. but the burden of you waiting, and I don't even know what you're waiting for. I feel like you're waiting for a sign of, you know, what am I supposed to do next? And again, what I want to say is to get out of this burden is to get quiet with yourself and not try. And when I say get quiet with yourself, I don't mean have the TV on while you're like binge watching Netflix and, you know, or keeping yourself busy around the house. I mean, sit in meditation. Even if it's only for like 10, 20 minutes at a time, and then you can kind of build that up a little bit. Either sit in meditation or get quiet, turn on some music that you like, close your eyes, envision the plans that you want to make. And I feel like that's when the past stuff will start to come up, and you'll have to make a decision on what these past things that are coming up, are you going to allow them to continue to confuse you, or are you going to release them so you can have a brighter day? If you're dealing with a Taurus who's from your past and they keep popping back up, I don't feel like it's romantic in any way, shape, or form. I feel like they need help from you, and I feel like there's kind of a burden on their shoulders too. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, that actually looks pretty promising. Actually, you thought that it was going to be promising at one time, but I think that you're going to, like, the burden of waiting on them to make a decision is making you feel a bit hurt. And I don't think you should wait around for them anymore. Honestly, I don't think you should wait around for the Sagittarius anymore. I think that they have other plans in their life. They have things that they're going to be doing, and there's no need to get caught up in that web. Right? You're much stronger than you have a lot of things to do. And it's like your 10 of Wands situation is, I mean, like, you're working really, really hard to get to that castle. You're almost there. You don't need to be pulled back into a situation where you're just feeling deceived and being told to wait. Oh, just wait a little bit longer. No. Page of Cups and the Four of Cups. And this is exactly what I mean. Page of Cups and Four of Cups. Don't accept anything less than you deserve. If you're getting offers from anybody right now, and it is like, yeah, sure, if you want to go out and date, that's fine. I don't feel like you're really in the dating mood. Everything was so confusing for so long, and now you're trying to get everything kind of put back together, put the puzzle pieces back together. It's time for you to go in a new direction and allow yourself to do that. Plant the seeds. Move forward. I don't think love is on the table for you right now. And if you're in a lovely relationship already and there aren't any problems in your relationship, and this has to do with just your life purpose or work in some way, that's what I want you to get quiet on. If you're not in a relationship, I don't really feel like you're going to be going after one. Not in December. I think you're going to wait. And I think that's kind of a point of contention with you. Do I put myself out there or do I not? I honestly think that right now you're not even sure what you want in life. So why would you go out and put somebody else in that kind of confusing state or meet somebody who's just as confused in their life as you are? You know? All right, Leo. Interesting reading. I knew that it was going to be interesting. Really glad that you guys were patient enough for me to get this out. I do have Chatelize sessions on Fridays all through December. The link is below if you're interested in looking into that. It's a live 30-minute reading. I have like a 2-hour time frame blocked off for Fridays. You get a live 30-minute reading with me, and you can take a selfie while we're doing the reading, which is really fun. So that, and check out the December specials on my website, fearlessintuition.net. I love you guys so much. Happy holidays. And I'll see you guys for your 2019 readings. I was trying to figure out, what am I missing? Like, what did I forget to tell them? I don't think anything. I'm going to do the 2019 readings and the soulmate readings for December this week. So I love you guys. Bye.